I love DG. Literally, man. Like DG, if you're watching this, bro, I have nothing but love and respect for you. I feel like what you've done to this Oklahoma community, what you've done for this fan base, what you did for this program is unmatched. You can't, you couldn't ask for anything more from anybody. You did that. You put us in a position to win. But saying that, I gotta be honest and say it's time to move on. It's time for the future. The future is here, and the future is Jackson Arnold. What up, baby? It's your boy, the ATX Junior, back with another video, man. And we here with What the Wednesdays. As you can see, I'm in the office today, so had to get this work in while I'm literally getting this work in. But what we gonna learn? What we gonna go over? You know, obviously, What the Wednesdays. That's what you go with. What we learned. We're gonna switch it up this week a little bit. What we can expect this off season. What the future of What the Wednesday looks like going forward from this point. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a good little get down, a little sit down talk with you. Again, thank you for tuning in. I hope you all are having a good day today. I have to do this in the office today because I don't want to upload super late. So this is how I am making up for that. So let's get into it, man. What we learned, and obviously we previewed the last game that we played. So what we learned in the TCU game. Let's start with defense because really that's the only thing we can go off of. I'll say we need help. I mean, we still have not proven ourselves on defense. You know, you would like to end the year off with a more solid base than what we ended the year off on, you know. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But, yeah, I mean, I trust them boys to get that right. I don't see that being something that'll be an issue going forward into the SEC. Let's put it that way. I feel like we're only going to be better on defense, and we're only going to get better on defense as we go on into the SEC. This offseason is going to be a big one. We got the guys in there that can back up what BV is preaching out there, more so than last year. And, I mean, you saw the jump from last year to this year. It's going to be even better going into the SEC. So I expect good things from that defense going forward. I'm not going to use this last TCU game as a I'm not going to judge them off of that. Let's put it that way. Even though that is film that they put on the field, I'm not going to judge them from that because next year it's going to be a completely new team, whole new setup, whole new get down. We'll see. So, what else did we learn? We learned that we don't have an offensive. Well, we do, but we lost our offensive coordinator, which is why I'm not going to go deeper into the whole offensive coordinator deal because Jeff is gone. But we do have a replacement or replacements for Jeff. And this is what I love about BV when he set up this coaching staff. But we got Seth Luttrell coming in and Joe John Finley, co-offensive coordinators. They'll be working together to get this thing figured out. And that's what, again, going back to what I love about BV. Everybody kind of understood that going into this with Jeff Lebby and this new coaching staff, that Jeff is going to have a new job soon. We weren't going to have to wait too long before we had to get rid of Jeff before he got rid of himself, because we expected him to get a head coaching job sometime soon. And you can tell that BV hired the staff based on that, you know, with that expectation, which is why, you know, it's the best thing to do is to hire within, and that'll keep us. You know, I always talk about this recycling program that we have, that it's only going to get better. And as we do this, you know, BV is going to be able to grow his coaching tree. He's going to be able to, you know, if we keep everything internal the way it's been thus far, BV is going to be able to constantly rotate. You know, we lose our offensive coordinator. Well, it's fine. We have somebody behind them or under them that can step up and take over until they get a new job, and then we can continue this process. And it's beautiful looking at it that way, if that is the way it's going to be going forward. We don't ever have to worry about offense, or we don't ever have to worry about Oklahoma and their coordinators, because there's always going to be a replacement, and that replacement 9 times out of 10 is internal. Great thing. I love it. Great job, BV. You're doing your thing out there, man. And what else we learned about this whole coaching change? A couple people got promoted, which is a great thing because that makes Jackson Arnold want to stay, So now we're keeping Jackson Arnold. We're keeping the 5-star tight end, Devon Mitchell, I'm sorry. And there's been plenty other recruits that have confirmed that, hey, we're sticking it out at Oklahoma. This is where we want to be. And it's good to, and this is clearly the biggest difference of losing a head coach and losing a coordinator. I mean, you lose a head coach, you see what Lincoln Riley did versus losing Jeff Lebby. More people are here for that head coach, And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there's going to be people that leave to help out, Jeff Lebby and Mississippi State, but it's not the core group. It's not the the people that we expect to see, the people that we expect to be different makers going into the year or week by week. So that, that's a great thing when it comes to the system that looks like BV is trying to root, trying to build from the ground up, and I love it. That is Oklahoma all day. From my experience, or my opinion at least, I see a bright future with Oklahoma. And yeah, man, I mean, going into the SEC, I feel like we're going to be very good. And another good thing, I mean, I do know that Seth Littrell, I believe he'll be the one calling the plays. I don't think that he has that whole speed offense concept. And I'm going to have to do more research on my end. I'm not sure. But I don't believe he has the whole speed offense concept. I believe he'll be running the ball a lot more. Pretty much everything that I've been begging Jeff Lebby to do, man, or Jeff Lebby to be. And hopefully we have that figured out. And hopefully I'm right about that, because if we can run the ball more, establish a balance, keep some consistency out there on the field, that'll do nothing but help us in the long run. Regardless if it can help teams game plan for Oklahoma, but at the end of the day, it don't matter, because we're game planning for them also. So whose game plan gonna work better? At the end of the day, I believe that Oklahoma is a football team that once we have everything together and clicking, we're not going to be able to be stopped regardless of what we choose to do that game. If we choose to run the ball that game, it don't matter, because we're physical enough to where we're going to beat you. And that's what I feel Oklahoma football is. That's what I feel like Oklahoma should be. And that's what I feel like the direction of Oklahoma is going. So, great things. We've learned nothing but good things. I mean, let's go into what can we expect going into this offseason. One, I expect us to hit that portal hard. I mean, if there's anything BV has shown us, and I get it, it's only been because he had to do this. He had to take advantage of the portal within these first 2 years he's been here. But I don't see that being any different. I feel like he still needs to be in the portal. I mean, I feel like we need cornerback depth. I mean, you see USC just got rid of a pretty good receiver that used to be on Oklahoma. They used to be committed to Oklahoma. Please, let's swoop him up. Let's get him. There's an old lineman out there that and I'm not saying we need help on the line, but it don't ever hurt. Let's put it that way. Like, you might not need help somewhere, but if you can add a piece and it doesn't hurt, it only helps. I mean, so I believe that we're going to hit this transfer portal hard, like he's been shown to do, or like he's been known to do. I know we got to get these tight ends up. There's a lot of things that we do need to focus on that that'll better us in the long run going into the SEC, at least when it comes to the depth. So I expect BV, again, hit the portal hard. We don't have a conference championship to play. So I'm sure you guys have been hearing this on every channel that you've heard, but this is really a good thing. And granted, for the outcome of the year, it's not a good thing. I'll never sit here and say that it's a good thing when we thinking of the outcome of the year. But if you just thinking about the fact of the growth of Oklahoma, the development of Oklahoma, the future of Oklahoma, while Texas and Oklahoma State, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Iowa, like while these teams are preparing for their conference championship, Oregon, Washington, like while these teams are preparing for this conference championship, Oklahoma can do in-house visits with these recruits. We can have more conversations with these recruits. They can have more time to visit the campus, which I don't know. I believe so. But regardless of the matter, all it means is we have more time to get our future right. Granted, a lot of these players, they look for teams that are in these championship games. You know, they being in these championship games can also help recruiting. But in Oklahoma's case, with the history that Oklahoma has, with the direction Oklahoma is headed in, I don't see that hurting us at all. I mean, we've been shown to be conference champions. We've been shown to be consistent when it comes to being good. Last year, obviously, was a setback year. Nobody can look at Oklahoma and judge us off of that 1, 6, and 7 year. We're 10-2 this year, about to be 11-2 whenever we get this bowl game out the way. It's good business. It's good regardless. Like, we're Oklahoma. Oklahoma football means something. So I feel like these recruits, being able to spend that extra time with these recruits, we might be able to flip some people. We might be able, there's just so many good things that can come out of it when it comes to having extra time to do the recruiting. So that's another thing I expect to be perfectly fine this year when it comes to the off season. I expect nothing but good news. Obviously, we're going to be losing people. It is what it is, but as you lose people, again, the cycle continues. We're going to recycle those people, recycle those players with hopefully better players. And has nothing against the player that's leaving. It's just that's the reality of the game. You want to get better. And for you to leave, that means that we need your position to get better. But speaking of people leaving and their positions getting better, it's hard to get better than Danny Stutzman. It's hard to be better than Billy Bowman. And I'm not sure what they're doing. I mean, if it's me, I'm about my money. I'm gonna get my money. And don't get me wrong, I understand that these players are getting paid through the NIL or whatever the case may be, but the NIL don't compare to the NFL. That's why the NFL is still a thing with the NIL being there, because if these college players could just be like, oh, I'm cool with this NIL paper, then they wouldn't even care about the NFL. But as you can see, NFL is still the goal. NFL is still the outcome that you want. So that letting you know that paycheck does matter. And Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman Jr. can get paid by an NFL team today if they chose to leave. And, regardless of what decision they make, if that were the case, guess what? I'm right behind you. I'm rooting you on. I'm putting on whatever colors you got on, and I'm always look at you like an Oklahoma Sooner. Don't get me wrong. But please, please come back. Please come back, Billy Bowman. Please come back, Danny Stutzman. Please come back, because, man, I know we'll be fine without you. I know that. That's not a question. There's no doubt in my mind. I know that we'll be just fine without you. But me picturing this current defense and adding y'all to it as a to take over the leadership role, to dominate, show these young kids what the expectation is, show these young kids how to meet the expectation. man, please come back. Do that for us, man. And I guarantee you, Danny Studsman and Billy Bowman Jr., if they were to come back, this defense next year is going to be, it's already going to be a good defense, don't get me wrong. But if you add those two players to this roster next year, man, I'm trying to tell you, it's a different problem. It's a different situation with them two boys on the field. I mean, and I know that that's gonna hold back some of our, and I don't believe, actually scratch that, it's not gonna hold anybody back, because at the end of the day, they're still gonna be getting play time. They're still gonna be getting those linebackers recycled out, those safeties, those cornerbacks gonna be recycled out. But to know that you have the seniority, to know that you have the people that have proven themselves to be this person on your team, it's almost like Drake Stoops on offense. Like, it's gonna be such a big thing when he leaves, because he's so reliable, he's so dependable, and for him not to be there next year, that's gonna be a position that needs to be filled, which I believe G Freaky will do that. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, we're not sure. We're not like, it's not 100% like it was whenever Drake Stoops was on the field. We knew he gonna be open. He gonna run I mean, don't get me wrong, that short route, I do put that on Drake Stoops when we lost the Kansas game or Oklahoma State, regardless. I feel like that was a Drake Stoops thing. But if I can point out one thing that you did bad in freaking 12 games, that's saying something. That is a reliable player. That is a determined player. He's always going to execute. And that's why I always give these flowers to Drake Stoops, because I know we give him the flowers as an Oklahoma community, but I don't feel like Drake Stoops is getting the flowers he deserves outside of our community. Like, I really do feel like Drake Stoops should be a top 3 round draft pick in that vicinity. Like, I really feel like Drake Stoops is a game changer to an organization, because he is to ours. We can rely on him, we can depend on him, and he's going to be gone. But Danny Studsman, Billy Bowman, back to y'all. Please come back. And this goes back into who else we could be losing and what will happen in this situation, okay? So we got the confirmation that Jackson Arnold is coming back. Bravo, round of applause. Happy about that, great news. But that leaves the floating questioning that leaves the floating question in the air of, what is DG gonna do? Because I know he's not gonna come back and ride the bench. That's one thing I know is not gonna happen. Another thing I feel like I know is not gonna happen is I don't see him entering the NFL draft. I do feel like DG, with one more year, not coming out the same draft class as Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, like not coming out of this draft class. If he were to wait one more year, put the same tape on field that he put this year, and hell, if he were to play another year, then he'd probably be top 5 in NCAA history, stats-wise, But I don't think he's gonna be in that crimson and cream, man. It can't, and honestly, I don't want it to be in that crimson and cream. I love DG, literally, man. Like DG, if you're watching this, bro, I have nothing but love and respect for you. I feel like what you've done to this Oklahoma community, what you've done for this fan base, what you did for this program is unmatched. You couldn't ask for anything more from anybody. You did that. You put us in a position to win. But saying that, I gotta be honest and say it's time to move on. It's time for the future. The future is here, and the future is Jackson Arnold, and we all want to see Jackson Arnold. So don't get me wrong. Last year well, I guess you could say this year, everybody was chanting to see Jackson Arnold, sooner. Well, let's see him sooner. And, y'all have a good point now that he wasn't able to be redshirted. But at the end of the day, DG was our guy this year. There was no reason to put Jackson Arnold on the field. No need for it unless we were just killing that team. I feel like the way they handled Jackson Arnold is perfect. They should have handled him that way. And if DG were to never get hurt, he would still be redshirted today. And we would have Bevel as a backup. But at the end of the day, we only have one more game, and it's a bowl game. So, who knows? I feel like, I don't know, Bevel might have been able to, get us out of that TCU game. But not sure. Or BYU game, I'm sorry. But yeah, man. What I feel like the future holds for DG, and I don't know how the transfer portal rules work. I don't know how any of that type of stuff works. I don't know if he can transfer and play. I don't know if he has to sit out another year. I don't know what the case may be, but I do feel like the best thing for DG is to go with Jeff Lebby. Go to Mississippi State. You're going to have that offensive coordinator that can trust you, that you can trust, a system that you thrive in. And, yeah, you're going to be on a team that's not as good as Oklahoma. And that's going to be the L. That's going to be the part that you really got to take into consideration is, I feel like the best spot for you would be Mississippi State with, with Jeff Lebby. But at the same time, I don't want you to be Spencer Rattler. And no disrespect to Spencer Rattler. I love you too, and I feel like us as an Oklahoma community did you so dirty. I did not like how we were doing the Caleb Williams chants and all that. But either way, DG, I don't want you to be in that position to where you go to a lesser team and you're not able to perform because of your teammates. I have too much respect for you to see you go out like that. And yeah, I get it. I don't want to see you in Crimson and Cream next year. And that hurts for me to say it because I can't see you in any other colors. But to do what's best for you, DG, I would transfer out to whatever team has the most stacked team going into next year, whether that's Oregon, whether that's what if he went to USC, y'all? That would hurt if he went to that would hurt. That would hurt if he went to USC. But think about if he went to an Oregon, or if he went to a UCLA like he originally planned to. Just somewhere that's not Oklahoma, but also has that same, or if not same, similar roster depth and talent. That way you can still perform, boost your draft stock going into next year, and at the end, going into the 2025 NFL season, DG is going to be a freaking top 3 round draft pick. Who knows? Maybe even better than that. It all depends on how you move going forward, what decisions you decide to make, and the only reason why I don't want to see DG in Crimson and Cream is because I know he's not going to play. I know Jackson Arnold. I know the job is Jackson Arnold, and I do feel that DG deserves to play, and I do feel that he deserves to win, and I feel like he deserves to be great because he is literally he is a lifesaver. And no matter what colors that you put on after you take off this Crimson and Cream, I don't care if you're playing for Texas. I don't care if you're playing for Oklahoma State. Don't get me wrong, it would suck. I don't care if you're playing for USC under, Tebow. But it would suck. It would be hard to watch. But you would be the only thing that I'm rooting for on those teams. I would hate to see you doing it for those teams. But as long as you're successful at the end of the day, that's all I care about, because that's the respect I have for you as an Oklahoma fan. And I'm sure the rest of the Oklahoma community feels that same way. So, DG, I would say enter the portal. See what's out there. See what you got for you. Get you a good squad, and who knows? You can lump in with some people that are already in the portal, and all go to one place. I mean, I just wish nothing but the best for DG, even though it's not going to be in Crimson and Cream. But speaking of the portal, man, another thing that we're going to figure out this offseason, what we expect to see this offseason, is we're going to see some more people into the portal. I know we got one intern who entered the portal already. We got one decommit already. It's going to continue. It's not going to be, this ain't just a clean slate. We're not going to get everybody we want. We're not going to keep everybody we want. But at the end of the day, we are good. So when it comes to people leaving Oklahoma or people decommitting from Oklahoma, as long as obviously there's a certain group of players that we expect to be Oklahoma Sooners, there's a certain group of 5-stars that we expect to be here and be the next Oklahoma greats. As long as we don't drop the ball on that, then I feel like we'll be just fine. But yeah, man, this is What the Wednesdays, man. Let's go into what to expect going forward with What the Wednesday. I was able to, build a nice little following when it comes to people expecting the What the Wednesday videos. I 100% appreciate that. I love y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in on a week-to-week basis. And yeah, that was a good idea that I came up with, and I feel like, this is something that can continue to happen. But, and there it goes, but I do believe that this will be the season finale of What the Wednesdays. I know, let it all out, I know. But I feel like What the Wednesdays is more suitable for going within the season, from game 1 to game whatever. And I feel like, with that being said, What the Wednesdays is a seasonal thing. This is the season 1. We'll wrap it up. I ain't gonna say this is the season finale because I will be back after the bowl game to wrap up What the Wednesdays. But just to give you guys a heads up, we got this episode of What the Wednesdays, and then we got next episode of What the Wednesday, and we're done for season 1. Season 1, we're gonna close up that chapter and wait until the rest of the year, or wait until the end of the year. Or I'm sorry, I'm out of it. Wait till the beginning of the year, the season, and get it back going, man. Get it back going from episode 1, and it'll be season 2 at that point. So hopefully you guys are going to be here to follow me from season 1, episode 1 to season 10, episode 1. Like, that's how we're going to do this. That's how we're going to play this. And I hope that you guys understand, 1, and 2, I hope that you guys are excited about the journey. I hope you guys are excited about season 2 of What the Wednesday. As excited as I am, at least, But that then goes into, okay, if there's not going to be a What the Wednesday every week, what can I look forward to after the season, once the off season starts? And don't worry, I got you. I'm not going to just leave you hanging. I'm not going to just say, season finale of What the Wednesday, it's over. See you next year. I'm not going to do that to you. I have an idea called Operation Off Season. Whoa. Pew, pew, fireworks. Operation Off Season. So what Operation Off Season is going to entail, what it's going to have, what it's going to involve, what's going to be in the details of Operation Off Season. We're doing this every Sunday in the off season. What we gonna do? We're gonna cover the previous week, what went on through that previous week. We're gonna provide you with any updates that might have happened that previous week, any recruiting news that might have happened that previous week, any rumors. Who knows? There might be some rumors out there. Guess what? They're going to be in Operation Off Season. And this is going to be season 1. I'm going to do this just like with the Wednesday. So there's not going to be a fall off. Once you know how, I don't know if you guys are Marvel fans or not, but you know, whenever one Marvel show is over with, then they got the movie right next. And then the movie might go for a couple months, and then guess what? Here comes another show. Well, look at that like this. What the Wednesdays is more of an in-season thing, while Operation Off-Season is strictly off-season. And we're going to switch between the two. Also, in Operation Off-Season, maybe to end off the, or throughout the video, I will be answering any Twitter questions that you might have. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at DATX Sooner, the same as my YouTube, everything like that. And if you have any questions, any topics that you would like to discuss, and even if it's a personal question, if you're feeling down about yourself, or you need me to, you want some uplift, you want some positivity, to be flowing through your ears, put it there. Just tag me in the okay. What you're gonna do is you're gonna @ me in your post. @ me, ask me the questions, hashtag Operation Off Season, and boom, I'll answer your question. I don't have many Twitter followers right now, so it shouldn't be hard at this very moment. Expect your question to be answered, but eventually, if it grows to a point to where it's hard to keep an eye on, then we'll go from there. I kind of think ahead, and I don't want to just ramble about what my ideas are going forward. But yeah, man, Operation Off Season is happening week 1 of the off season, which would be right after the bowl game, and every Sunday from there we'll go. And when it comes to the future of the channel, it's not going to be just one upload a week. It could be, if we have any recruiting updates, like I'll be giving these in person also. Well, not in person, but at the time also. So any updates, any Oklahoma updates, I will be providing those updates the day of or the day after, regardless of the situation. Like I said, might be $1 late, or might be a minute late, $1 short. It's gonna get done. I don't know. Regardless, it's gonna get done. But yeah, man, we got one more episode of What the Wednesday coming up next week. Well, not next week, after the bowl game. Until then, I'll be, kind of going into off-season mode, providing y'all with whatever updates I can think of, or whatever updates there are. And, yeah, we'll go from there, man. This is another episode of What the Wednesday, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got to end it with positivity. I'm at work and I just made a 32-minute video. Why? Because I'm on my lunch break. But guess what? To some people, it's a lunch break and they going to eat. To some people, it's a lunch break and they going to go, get their mind right. This is me getting my mind right, And yeah, some people can look at it as extra work, But just so y'all know, if you're watching me, if you're tuned in for the 30+ minutes that I've been speaking right now, positive message today is you guys. And I feel chills when I'm saying this, man. Like, literally, you guys have helped me feel like I have a direction to go in, You guys have, kept me motivated. You guys looking forward to the next video. That makes me feel special, And, I always say I'm not doing this for y'all. I'm doing this because I love to do it. But at the end of the day, y'all play a huge part in that love for doing it. And, I have to keep myself tame. I have to keep myself at ease when it comes to allowing you guys to have so much power over my feelings, because being a content creator, you have to be able to continue to do your content regardless of what your audience might feel. Because sometimes it could be a situation where you turn on me, and now I'm sitting here like, dang, I can't make another video because nobody likes me. Which we'll never get to, we'll never get to that point. I'm just using that as an example. This is why you have to have that self motivation. You have to have that internal motivation. What makes you go internally? And you know, I have that internal motivation, but to say that you guys don't help out with that, to say that you guys don't keep me going, I can't wait to meet some of you guys. Like, I try to go to an Oklahoma game at least once a year. As of 2 years ago, I'm trying to make me and my wife, we're trying to make this like a traditional thing, you know, to travel from Austin, Texas, all the way to Oklahoma, in Norman, and party, you know. So, you know, this kind of gives me the excitement of that. You know, this next game I go to, who knows? You guys might be there. If you guys see me, don't be afraid to speak to me. I'm a cool guy. I'm very, you know, humble. You know, I don't think too highly of myself. You know, I don't think too low of myself either. But, you know, I'm just not that guy that's going to make you feel less than, you know. Because it's happened to me before, and I don't like that feeling. So I would never let anybody else feel that way. But the positive message today is you. Thank you. Thank you for being that light at the end of my tunnel. Thank you for keeping me going. Thank you for corresponding with me. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes, the shares. By the way, like, share, and subscribe. By the way, thank you guys for that. Like, it's just so much that I'm so thankful for, and you guys are very high on that list. So, I was going to say I'm not going to make this a long video. It's going on 40 minutes, so it's long enough. This might as well be a podcast at this point. But this is I kind of wanted to make this a longer video so that I can, you know, give y'all an idea of what Operation Offseason is going to be like. Operation Offseason is going to be this longer form video to where I can gather everything that we've found out, everything that we've learned over the course of a week, and then start that next week off revising everything, you know, and then I might end it off with some expectations for this week to come. But regardless, man, and I'm still trying to add more things to the channel, but let me stop there before this video hit 40 minutes. Thank you so much for your love, your support. It's your boy, the ATX Sooner, currently at work right now. But guess what? That ain't gonna stop me from from getting what I need to get to y'all, and I hope you guys appreciate it. I love you, and I mean, what can I say, man? We're beautiful. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. It's in our DNA, man. It really is in our DNA. Bye.